Hi, how's it going? My name is Miguel, and today we're gonna talk about why it's so hard to ask for help sometimes. Asking for help isn't exactly my strongest area, you could say. In fact, my friends often tell me that I'm actually really stubborn and that I need to stop. However, in my defense, this is something that I've had since I was little. Even when I fell, I used to have the ability to just kind of get back up without any help. And even though people, like, when they saw me fall, and even now, they like run over and go and try to help me, but it's not, and I'm usually like, oh, it's fine, I got it, I don't need help. And it's not that I don't need the help necessarily, it's just that, like, it makes it more difficult for me to be able to get up. For example, if I'm like trying to get up and then someone is like pulling me, it throws off my balance and it just makes it way harder than it needs to be. But I mean, it's not my fault. I think being stubborn is just kind of a byproduct of three main reasons why I don't usually ask for help or feel comfortable asking for help, even if I do really need it. The first reason is just because, asking for help is hard. I mean, it requires someone to be vulnerable. Vulnerable? Vulnerable. I work so hard to be independent and to take care of my own stuff that I don't want it to appear that I'm weak or that I can't do something. So even when I fall, the only time that I really ask for help is if I'm literally hurt and I can't physically get up myself. Like once I remember I fell and like hit the cement and I hit like both of my elbows and they hurt so like I hit them so hard that my arms like completely fell asleep and I physically couldn't get up. So I was like, my friends were like, "Do you need help?" And I was like, "Yeah." The second reason is because I don't want to be a burden to anybody else, and this includes my family members or my friends or and especially strangers. For example, when we go out to eat, and I get my drink, right? I'm terrible at being able to carry liquids because I limp. So usually by the time, I get my drink and if I try to take it myself, I usually end up with it all over my hand or there's usually like a trail of Powerade or whatever I get, like leading from the machine all the way to the seat. Usually the people that I'm with do offer to help me if they see, that I'm having trouble, especially with that. But in my head, I'm usually like, oh man, but then how are they gonna carry their stuff and then my stuff on top of that? I don't want to trouble them. So usually, I just go for it and risk it myself. And what usually ends up happening is that I fill my cup and by the time I get to my seat, it's halfway gone or more than halfway gone. And I have to be like, oh, I wasn't really thirsty anyway. So the biggest one for me though, especially now, is having to ask people for rides when I need to get somewhere. But that just comes with not being able to drive yet, unfortunately. But I will eventually. I don't know what it is, but I hate it because that requires not only to use their time, but it requires gas and everything. To me, it just seems like it's asking too much of someone. Now, more often than not, people are more than willing to give me rides if I really do need to get somewhere. And I usually give them gas money or buy them food to thank them for it. But it's still like getting past that initial barrier in my own head to ask them in the first place. The third reason why I usually don't ask for help is because I don't like losing control of any aspect of my life or in any instance. I remember this one time when I was flying, I never use, the handicap service where someone actually pushes you in the wheelchair to get you through security and everything. I had never used it because I'm like, well, I can walk just fine, I can carry my luggage. In this particular instance, the airport was bigger and there just wasn't enough time for me to get to from one plane to another. So hesitantly I used the service and oh man, I just felt like I couldn't control anything. Like I was getting pushed through security, people were taking my stuff, they were helping me with my shoes. I couldn't even move. Like I was like, oh, I can walk, it's okay. And they were like, oh no, it's a policy, like once you're in the chair. I couldn't even like do the things that I knew I could by myself. So that kind of was really frustrating for me, just not having that control. Now, getting past these mental barriers is extremely important because I wouldn't be here without the help from my family, friends, and everybody that I've met so far in my life. I think that everyone has helped me in one way or the other. The important thing that you do have to keep in mind is you have to know the difference between asking for genuine help or asking for a favor and just using your disability, as an excuse. For example, I wouldn't ask my friend to just, go to Taco Bell and grab me some food, or maybe just drop me off at that concert that's 30 minutes away and then go pick me up. No, that would be just using people, and that is terrible. Now, let's say that you do go for it and ask for help. You ask one of your friends or whoever, but they end up saying no or that they can't. Don't get mad and don't take it personally, because chances are that they really are busy. That's when you have to be proactive enough to have plan A, B, and C. For example, if I were to ask my friend for a ride, and they say that they can't, then I know that there's, Ubers, Lyfts, and that there's a bus system. I have a backup plan, so I don't really depend on anybody else to get my stuff done. Having a disability can sometimes feel like you're alone, like you have to deal with the burdens that your disability, whatever it may be, bring to your life by yourself. But that's just not the case. More often than not, the people around you are more than willing to help you in order for you to succeed. Asking for help is not an easy thing to do, but there comes a point where you have to put your pride aside and realize that we all need help from time to time in order to keep growing and succeed in life. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to press that like button and subscribe for more videos. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one.